here's something for you, Clay. And I don't know if you know it off the top of your head or not. And if you don't know them off the top of your head, just give the basic overview, and then I have them up here. We're talking about what delays your claim. Okay. What are ways that folks can request priority processing? In other words, expediting their claims process, which is an important piece, right? And how good is the VA at it? Whatever. That's neither here nor there. The fact is that you can request priority processing, and if that starts to drag on, then reach out to your congressional office, have them reach out to the VA and say, hey, this person put in a priority processing request. So, Clay, what are your thoughts on priority processing? You don't need to nail them down if you don't have them in front of you, but your thoughts on it, please.
Yeah, so I know two off the top of my head, and one of them I helped a really, really good friend of mine with. That's the only reason why I know it. So the most common is going to be at risk of being homeless. So either homeless or at risk of is probably the most common, which is a very unfortunate thing to even just say. Another one is situation based. That's not the technical name for it, but here's the example of what happened to my friend. My friend is one of those veterans who he's done more deployed than I have. And that's just an easy way to say he's got some stuff going on. Okay. For real. And he's just one of those dudes that's prideful, and he had submitted for mental health, but was rated at 30%, and sleep apnea that I think was rated at 30%, which is a weird sleep apnea rating. That's not really common. And that's it. Okay. He never wanted to do an increase, although he certainly warranted increases. He never wanted to look at tinnitus, although he was a Waterman. He didn't want to look at anything else, which was his choice. And I tried to get him to do it so many times. Well, fast forward, his wife died unexpectedly. Super sad. I don't want to get into it. But they have 3 kids, and they were living paycheck to paycheck, and she was a working mom as well. And so all of a sudden money became a huge factor, and Social Security is not the fastest thing in the world. So he was like, hey man, can you help me out? I was like, yes, absolutely. So we did a hardship claim. I think that's what it's called actually. We did a hardship claim, submitted a statement in support of that claim, just describing what the hardship was. He ended up doing 2 increases, and then I think 6 or 7 other claims. And in a month and a half, these were not fully developed. One of them was for mental health. The others, it was about a month and a half. It was less than 2 months. Complete decision, boom, service connected, and he got up to, I want to say like 90%. I think 86, 87 as a hard percentage. And that happened fast. Now, could you argue a month and a half is too long? Yes, you could. And I would agree with you on that. But that's the hardship claim, right? So if you want a timeline example of hardship claim, it was about
it's a lot better than 10 months.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
but I know there's others, Jason. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So the homeless are at risk of becoming homeless. True. So what is at risk of becoming homeless? You could have an eviction notice. You could also utilize a PG&E or other gas, electric type services shut-off notice, because if your gas or water is shut off, well, your house is not habitable, so you would essentially be homeless at that point. So that's an important one. Or you're experiencing extreme financial hardship, which is the one that you were bringing up, such as loss of your job or sudden decrease in income. And that would mean household income, I'm sure. You have ALS, so Lou Gehrig's disease. You have a terminal illness, right? So if you have a terminal illness, obviously annotated down by your doctor that it's, a terminal illness, unless it's just an automatic known, then you just need to supply that proof of that condition. You have, and by the way, it doesn't say that it has to be a service-connected terminal illness. It just needs to be a terminal illness, right? So next one, you have a very seriously injured or ill status from the Defense Department, and I'm not sure exactly what what that looks like. This status means that you have a disability from a military operation that will likely result in your discharge from the military. So this is, I'm going to end up getting out of the military, right? You're going through probably med board, all that stuff. You're probably, wounded warrior battalion type stuff, and getting ready to move into the civilian sector, and you're essentially filing a version of a BDD claim at that point. So the next one, you're a former prisoner of war. So if you're a former prisoner of war, you can ask for that priority processing. If you've received the Medal of Honor or the Purple Heart, a lot of people don't know. If you have a Purple Heart, you can ask for priority processing, which is a nice little added benefit there for a Purple Heart recipient, and obviously Medal of Honor, which, I mean, there's not that many out there running around. So, right? Oh yeah. I would love to meet any of them. It doesn't even matter. That's so, because it's so rare, right? Mm-hmm. And then the last one, and I saved this for last for a reason. If you're age 85 or older, so simply based on age, 85 years or older, you can request priority processing, and you absolutely should. Here's the funny thing to me, and I personally believe there should be pressure put on the VA, probably through Congress, probably through the Senate Veterans Committee and the House Veterans Committee, to lower this age to 75. Why? 85 is pretty old. A lot of us don't even make it that long, especially when you're talking about disabled veterans, right? Agent Orange and all these other, hey, you're more likely to have all these cancers, but if you make it to 85, we'll do priority processing for you. No, that's stupid. So I think that it should be lowered to 75. And another reason why is because if your claim goes to the Board of Veterans Appeals and you're in that appeal process with the board, the priority processing for the board is 75. So you have conflicting ages for priority processing. So you can priority process at 85 years old with your regular VA claim, then they deny you, and then it goes to the board, but you can't expedite it. Or, I mean, you can expedite it there too because you're 75. But if you're flip-flopped, if you're 78, you got to wait for the whole process to go through with the VA. Then if it goes to the board, you can ask for priority processing. So whatever. I think they should both just be 75. Keep it simple, stupid would be a good move here for folks. And 75 makes more sense when you're talking about the demographic that we are. So that's it, Clay, with ways to expedite the processing through priority processing. Spark any thoughts for you?